Today is your second session for flat drawings. So the new tools that we're gonna learn today is going to be brush tool. Okay, for the repeated patterns, we can use brush tool to create a repeated pattern. And we will use human croquis, but actually you don't need to create a new file. Instead, you can use what you submitted last week, and then we just gonna add the drawings to build your flat drawing libraries. Okay, and then these are the 6 designs that we're gonna draw today. And last class you drew a shirt actually. So we actually gonna copy and paste the shirt drawing to draw this tuxedo, and then we will modify a little bit overall shape, and then this to draw a cowboy shirt. So make sure you open one that you submitted, so you have the drawing there. And then we will draw a sweatshirt and then hoodies. So as you see here, for the lip part, you have some repeated patterns. That's where we're gonna use brush tool. And again, you don't need to start all over again for the hoodies, but you can, draw a sweatshirt and then copy and add maybe hoodies, and then the, and the zipper opening, zipper closure, and then these strings. And for this blouse, we're gonna, do that. Use the brush tool for this elastic finish neckline and sleeves. So that's where you're gonna practice the brush tool again. So today we're gonna draw these 6 drawings, but you are not really creating a new. Instead, we will copy and paste and then modify to draw the second look. Okay, so I just opened my file that I worked on last week. So as you see, I have some drawings, Ctrl- here. So you can just open the file that you edit, and then, you can kind of keep continuing the putting the flat drawings. Eventually you will have your flat drawing libraries. And one thing that I wanted to address here before I start is layers, okay? So, the top bottom layer is your template layer, and then you put the toggle the lock, so you don't need to touch your template. But whenever actually, most of the time, whenever you ask me about the problems, usually it's the layer issue. So make sure you select the correct layer. For example, if you have your template layer selected, and even though you have pen tool selected, you cannot really do anything because it's the bottom layer, and then you put the toggle lock. So you need to make sure you select the top layer. That way your pen tool is active, and then you can continue on. Okay, so make sure whenever you have issues, first place that you need to look at is actually layers. Okay, layers here. And in last assignment, in last lecture, we draw these shirts. Okay, so to draw a tuxedo shirts, actually, or the cowboy shirts, we're gonna use this one as a base, and then we will modify. So I will do Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and then Ctrl+V. Okay, so let's draw the cowboy shirts first. Okay, cowboy shirts first. So I will bring this one here. And then, cowboy shirts actually has a little bit straight, sleeve. Not really have this kind of volume on the sleeve. So with the direct selection tool, you can modify. Actually, let me change the stroke color so you can see better. Okay, I will change to pink. No, it's not pink, it's a purple. So I will change to And then I may increase the stroke size a little bit. So now, actually, I will just keep that. Okay. So, I will modify this, sleeve shape with direct selection tool, which is A, and then make it straighter. Oops. Ctrl G as undo. So I may zoom in a little bit more because the leg here is too tiny. Okay? So okay. It becomes straighter. So it's up to you. I think I did ungroup. So this is actually each part is separated, but if you did a group, then you need to do right click and then ungroup. So actually what I'm going to do is delete this one and then right click, transform, reflect, and then copy, and then move. Otherwise, you may do that one more time to make it straighter. And then I will do arrange and then bring back, send backward. Send, arrange, and then send to back. Okay. And another thing that we need to do is actually we will delete the pocket, delete key, select, and then delete. And then this one is actually on the Cowboy Shirts, but there's a yoke line here. So P as a pen tool, and then enter. I click here again. Then enter. Then I will actually zoom in a little bit to fix direct selection tool to bring and then to bring here. Make it straighter here. Okay, and then I will add line P as a pen tool, and then enter. And I think the stroke of this and that one is a little bit different. Window, stroke. This is 1 point and this is the 0.0. So I will actually make this one as a 0.5. Because for the detail, I like a little bit thinner line. Okay. Okay. And then we will draw a arrow here. P as a pen. Enter. And then I will draw a triangle. Shape here. Enter. And then triangle shape. Here, enter. And then I will select these three together. with Shift key, click, Shift key, hold Shift key on the keyboard, and then I will change it to 0.5, like that. Okay, so I will actually use the Shift key again to select these things. So Shift key, hold, click, 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 and then right click, and I will do group, and then do the transform, reflect, copy, and then move this one to here. Okay? So now I have top portion a little bit done, and then we will modify the color shape. So P as a pen tool, and then let's connect from here. And whenever you draw the straight line, you can use a Shift key, hold, and then you will, make a straight line, enter. And you can copy and transform, but as it's a straight line, I will just draw. Shift key, hold, and then enter. Okay. And then with A tool, direct selection tool, I'm going to bring all the way up. All the way up. Okay. Like that. Okay. So now what I left is going to be the changing the color shape a little bit. So let's see, with the direct selection tool, oops. If you don't have this one, added anchor to modify the shape a little bit like curvier, what you can do, if you have this one already here, then you can modify, but if you, for example, I will actually delete. So if you don't have this one as to modify, you can use plus, and then click that way, and then now A tool, and then you can modify to make a little bit like that. Okay? If you have this one already, you just need to modify a little bit like this. Okay. Like this. I may need to zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so after you put the color shape a little bit curvier, I will add a line. P as a pen tool, draw here, enter, and then draw here, enter, and then A as a direct selection tool, and then bring this down. And because it's a detail line, I want it to be stroke a little bit thinner, so I will select, and then with Shift key, hold, select, and then go to stroke, and I will change to 0.5 here, so it's going to be thinner. And then you can do transform, reflect, copy, and then move. Yes. Okay. So we are done with one shirt. So I didn't draw a whole thing all over again. Instead, I copy and then modify in terms of the sleeve shape and then the color shape a little bit. So we're gonna do that same thing for the tuxedo. So, I just made a group so I can show you how to do the ungroup. Because whenever you are done, I usually try to do group. That way, if you click just one side, it will select your whole object. Okay? So, but whenever you wanted to modify, you can do ungroup. Okay. So for the tuxedo one, actually, the overall shapes are similar. Okay, similar. But the difference is the color shape and they didn't have a pocket. So we're gonna delete and then delete those unnecessary lines here. And I think I can delete here. Okay. Then we will add the colors here. So as a pen tool, P, and then we will draw an overall color sheet. And then click back, click, and then click, enter. And then with A, I may modify a little bit to make it balanced. And so now it's kind of transparent. So you see the back garment and then the template. So to prevent this, we can do the fill. We can do the fill. So let's do the fill. I think I didn't select this one, and then we want fill. Okay, now we're gonna add inner line here. So P, and then click, and then around here, click, and then click back, click, and then click, enter. And then now I wanted to change this outline of the stroke as a 1 point because it's the outline. So I will do 1 inch. But this one actually I will keep as a half inch, half a point. And then I will add P. And then this inside. Enter. A as a direct selection tool, and then this. Modify. Now let's select this together with Shift. Hold your Shift key, and then reflect, transform, reflect, copy. Enter, cancel. And then once you like the look place, we can add the back color shape here. A key, enter, and then A. Okay, now the color part is on, but we will need to add this like tuck here. Okay, so P, and then click here, and then shift. If you hold your Shift key, you can make a straight line. Okay, and then it's about to be here. And then Shift key again, click, enter. And I may do the no fill because you know, it's inside the detail. So I will just do the no fill but only stroke, and then P again, draw straight, shift key, enter, shift key, enter, shift key, enter. Then now let's select this. Oops. With the shift key hold, you can select these things and then transform, reflect, copy. Oops, I think my body just selected too. So shift key hold, right click, transform, reflect, copy. Okay. So now we are done. I mean, there's lines here on the cuffs, and then enter. And then you may do that. Enter. Okay. So now with the shirt drawing, that you got 2 drawings done with this. Okay, so again, that's the advantage of using Illustrator, you know, to draw your flats. So let's do save. File, save. I think I Control S or Command S. So next to the drawing that we're gonna draw is this. You know, the sweatshirts and then the hoodie. And I will just gonna show you this, but you will need to create these hoodies from this, you know, sweatshirts. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the bodice drawing. P as a pen tool, and I may change my stroke color to pink. P, and then I know that the shirts that we are going to draw is raglans, but I just gonna draw whole shirts here, and then oops, Control G as undo, click here, and then here, and then here, and here, enter. Okay, so I will actually change my stroke size to 1 point so you can see better. Okay, so I will actually modify a little bit to make a straight silhouette here. Okay, and I will use selection tool, right click, and then to transform, reflect, copy, then make sure those are matte, not the overlap, but matte. Okay. And then I will do these together and then join. So now it comes as it is. They together. Then I will add the sleeve. P and then because it's a raglan sleeve, actually you will start it's like this, and then I will click around here. Yes, here. And then I will have come here. And then come here. And then click again. Oops. Click again. And then here. And come around here. Make it a little bit curved. And then come back here. And then done. Okay, so I need to make sure actually my sleeves is covering the bodies. So A, and then I may bring this back a little bit, not that much. Okay, so you can do that right now to do the fill option. So let's do that. So after you click the bodies, and then select the fill option and select the color. Oops, the line color should be, I select the line color as white. So actually as a default, you can use this white and black small, default fill and stroke color, and then you select this one as a default, you know. That way you can kind of hide, you know. So if it's not hiding, you can do the right click and then arrange and then bring to front. Okay, so this is the arrange option, and I actually gonna change a little bit because I don't want it to show. A, oops, click, yes, and then actually I'm going to modify here a little bit. Yes, okay. And then we will do the, with selection tool, select, right click, transform, reflect, copy, and then we will move on to the other side. And then as I did for the right side, I will need to modify here to kind of hide. Okay, so now we have the raglan sleeve done. So, how come I did join, but it has gap here? So, Ctrl plus, and then do the join. Okay, so now I close my gap. Okay, so to draw leaves as a with the brush tool, we will actually need to create a brush. Okay, so with the pen tool, we will draw small lines here. Okay, so we will draw a neckline with the leaves. Okay, so we can draw a neckline shape first, P as a pen tool, and then I will zoom in a little bit. And then click here with the P and with A, direct selection tool. You can modify your lines a little bit. And then I will draw the inner line, P again. enter, and then P, again 2, oops. So I try to always click a little bit off, and then I will use A, direct selection tool, to make closure. Okay, like that. So actually I do not like, because it doesn't have the same distance. So I will actually redraw like this, and then this, and then this. That way I can keep kind of similar. And then because it's an inner detail, I will do the no fill. And then with A, I can modify. Yes, that way I think I can make kind of same, you know, distance here. Okay. And then I will bring up. So because it's an inner line, actually I will make my shift key to select together, and then I will do a little bit thinner, okay? Then we will use brush tool to draw, okay? So I will use P tool again, and then draw a line, kind of fit to this, okay? Fit to this. Same, almost similar length, and then Control C, Control C, Control V. And I think my line can be a little bit even thinner. So I will make my line is about 1/4 points. Okay? And so I will show you after I make the one repeat. Control C, Control V. Then this one actually I do Control C, Control V. So the top one is 2 lines here, and then bottom one is 3 lines here, and then I will make this one as a no stroke actually. So there is an object here, but no lines, so it's not visible. Okay, and I will show you why I added invisible line here. So to make a brush, you select both lines together, and then, you know, if you don't have this brush window, go to window, and then window, brushes, and then select both together, and then bring here, and once you see the plus sign, you can let it go, your mouse, and then select pattern brush. It's okay. And then it's okay. And then I will show you the third one, the second one that I had the invisible line, edit, and then bring here, and then once you see the plus sign, you can let it go, and then select pattern brush, and then okay. Then how you use brush tool is after you draw a line with pen tool, if you click, then you will see. I will show you another one. P, and then this, and then I will show. So can you tell the difference between the first one and second one? Because I create invisible third line, actually it keeps the distance like almost regularly. But when I didn't add invisible, lines, it make kind of a repeat two, and then like next one is like right after the first one. You know what I'm saying? So here, first repeat, second repeat. So there is no space between the first repeat to the second repeat. So by adding your invisible line here, you can have actually keep the distance between first repeat to the second repeat and then third repeat. Okay? Okay. So after you create your own brushes, I will use the pen tool, P, and then actually you can copy this one. So since it's going to be parallel with this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and then I may adjust with A, direct selection tool, to modify. Okay. Then, right, this one. Okay? So, now you may need to adjust a little bit. Oops. But, oops. Yes, to fit here. And then, minus, to delete this. A. Oops, I think I did, yes. Like that. What's wrong with here? I may move up. Okay, so for those of you who has a little bit wanted to change the size of this brush tool a little bit, what you can do is you can actually double click your brush options, and you can actually reduce the size a little bit, okay? And then you can do preview here, and then hit OK, and then apply to brush. Show me one more time. So after select that line, and then double click the brush, and then you can reduce the size to make it a little bit smaller. Apply to brush. Or if you think your brush is a little bit bigger, then you can, I just gonna make extreme to show you, but you can actually adjust the size after. But I think my brush was okay with this. Like that. We will need to do that for this cups too. So let's create I think for cups and then, hem, I can do the same thing. Shift key, enter, and then I want my brush thinner, so I will do the quarter point, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and then Ctrl V, and then third one is going to be, no stroke, so invisible. That way you can maintain pattern brush, maintain the distance, okay? So after you make the new brushes here with pen tool, after I draw a line, A, oops, here, I can apply. Yes, like that. Okay, so now I can copy and actually reflects, transform, reflects, copy, then bring to the right side. Oops. Here. And then let's draw a lip here. Okay, so actually you can use pen tool or rectangular marquee tool to draw your lip. A. There's a direct selection tool to modify. And then P. And then I will draw, I will apply, enter, like that. So, as you noticed, my brush is a little bit shorter. So actually you can create a new brush just for the lip, or if it's not that much like, different, then you can just reuse, the brushes. Okay. So we are done with the sweatshirts. And then we will do group. And then Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So you have the sweatshirt draw here, and then you will need to draw a hoodie. So the hoodie that you're gonna draw is going to be your assignment. So you may remove this lip to draw the hoodie, and then you may create a hoop. But I'm just gonna show you one thing here. So for the button slider, not the button, zipper slide, you can actually use pre-shape tool here. So I will really zoom a lot because, when your drawing is really small, it's harder to draw smaller ones. So usually I zoom in a lot and then I will draw. So slider, I will draw the rectangle tool. I think my stroke, I apply the, okay. So I will draw the rectangle tool, but I want my stroke a little bit smaller because it's the detail. Okay. So my stroke line is the 0.5 here, and then after I draw one shape, and then you can use the rectangle tool, not the marquee tool, here, and then use anchor point tool to modify. Okay? I know it's really big, so I need to make it smaller. Okay. So do you see what I did? I drew I can show you one more time. I drew the rectangle tool, and then with add anchor point tool under the pen tool, click the corner to make it lines, curved line for the side. And then actually I will do the maybe copy and paste, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and then make it one bigger. And then I will make this one go down, arrange, send to back, and then I may do this, Then make it smaller. And then use this one as a group. And then use as a button, a zipper slider for the hoodie. Okay? So we draw this one, but this one is your assignment. Okay, so I just show you how to use pre-shaped tool, like a rectangle tool, through the button zipper slider, and then you can actually use two rectangle tool to draw zipper, two, and then these two, but make sure you have the fill, and then because if you wanted to have this front, you may do if it's hidden, you may do the right click and then arrange and then bring to front. Okay? Okay, so now I just talk about how you can create a hoodie with these sweatshirts. So what left is going to be the top. So we're gonna use the brush tool again to draw that overall shape. But actually, we can use this the sweatshirts for the base. Okay, so I will do the Control C, Control V, then bring this one here. Okay, so it doesn't, let's do the ungroup, then we can delete these things, and then this, and then this. So you may delete unnecessary things. Then we will need to make your neck a lot wider. So with I will bring this one here. I don't know why I have this, but with minus I can delete. And then with A, you can bring this. Here a lot. And then here. These two. Minus key on the keyboard and then remove if you have the issue with like mine. Like that. Okay, so the silhouette for the top that we are going to draw is a little bit fitted, right? Then like wider here. So we will fix with the plus on the keyboard. Click the P. And then I will add one point here. And then with A, you can kind of make it fitted. And then, if you wanted to make a little bit smoother, then we may add anchor points. And then here to make A oops. Like that. And then you may do that like plus on the keyboard. And then A as a direct selection tool. And then anchor Control Shift, actually Shift C is this anchor point 2, and then A, 2, like that. Okay, so I just make it, actually let's do the anchor, Shift C here. Yeah, so I just make it a little bit smoother, A, and then fit it. And then for the hem, same thing, plus here, so I added anchor, like 4 anchors here with A, and then Shift C, Shift C, and then Shift C, and then Shift C, like this. Okay, so I make a little bit irregular hem shape, A as a direct selection tool. Like that. Okay, so now after you got this, then we will do the brush tool to create a elastic band, kind of finished neckline or hem. So for this, actually I will use ellipse tool to draw. Okay, and this time you need to make sure you have fill options. Okay, fill options, because we're gonna place those elastic finished neckline around here, and I wanted to kind of hide my original neckline shape here. So you need to make sure you have a fill option inside. And then I will actually do a little bit thinner, so it's 0.5 points, okay, half point, and then Control C, Control V, and then actually I will do my next one is a little bit smaller one, and then I may do polygon actually this time. And then with the direct selection tool, you can kind of modify. Okay. Okay, so after you got this, maybe 3 objects selected, because we don't need space between each repeat. That's why I didn't create an invisible object here. Instead, I will just draw pattern brush. Then, after you got the pattern brush done, with the pen tool, let's draw line P following this, click back, and then this, enter, and then you will apply this, and then you need to make sure this time no fill, so it is showing. Okay, yeah, so it looks like a little bit more like a jewelry type of the neckline rather than elastic. So actually the one that I show in the handout is actually I drew the each kind of irregular shape, you know, like this, and then to create a brush. But this is acceptable for now. And then we will do that on the leaves here. P. A. And then this. Okay? So you may do the with the selection tool, right click, transform, reflect, copy. Oops, I need to say transform, reflect, copy, and then move to the other side, and then like that. So for the wrinkle, actually, you can do that as a brush tool. So with P, I may draw line like this, enter, and then maybe draw a little bit of the A. This shape, enter, and then P again, to draw, like this, enter, A. So, you know, like this, and then I may do just one more, maybe P, like this, okay, enter, and then I will actually select whole thing and then try to make it 0.5 or even quarter, actually, like this. And then you may do the brush, bring to the brush window, pattern brush. Then you may do P tool, pen tool, P, through, enter, and then try this with A tool, so this, oops, like this. I may use mouse to bring, and then you may do that P here, and then no fill for the line itself, and then do this, enter, and then P, and then do this, and then enter, yes, like that. So we will add the wrinkle here, and enter, and then apply. But the wrinkle is actually needed to be rotated. So with the selection tool selected, right click, transform, and do the rotate, and then do the 180 angle, and then okay. So now, let's do one more time. Oops. Transform, rotate, and then okay. So now my wrinkle is coming from the bottom and not from the top. So do one more time here after I draw. Enter, and then apply, and then I want my wrinkle opposite, and then click, transform, reflect, and then not the 90 but 180. Okay. Do this. And then click here again. Transform, rotate. Okay. Okay, so it's a rotate, not the transform and reflect. Okay? So you may do that you should use the rotation tool. I can delete this one after I create it. Okay, so now I got this one done. Here. Then what left is this. Okay, so that's going to be your assignment. And from the gypsy top to this poet artistism top, I mean, it's a little different in terms of the shoulder, so you can actually use different template, different drawing to kind of modify. But this will be your assignment. Again, in your file, it should be this, like this 6 drawing, and then, oops, this 6 drawing, and then these 2, these 2, these 2, these 2, these 2, these 2. Okay? So your file should have those 6 drawings done. Okay? Then that's all. So again, Wednesday there's a Zoom meeting, and then it's there will be required attendance check on the Wednesday. So otherwise, you will need to finish this 6th drawing by Tuesday night. Okay? Have fun and see you on Wednesday.